Baltimore at Pittsburgh. Couple quarterbacks. You need to shake off the turnovers. Over or under 44 points, Geoff?
Man, I mean, this game is, it just screams under to the point where I actually am going to lean over here. If you look at the historic, just even though like the last 3 years between these two teams, they've kind of split it between being like boring defensive games and then also just kind of being like sporadic offensive games that have hit the over on this mark. I think that you're getting a big overreaction here to Pittsburgh playing bad on offense last week and obviously Lamar Jackson playing bad. But let's look at these two teams. What are they bad at? They're both kind of bad defensively. I mean, the Steelers defense has been eroding. The Ravens defense can't really stop anyone either. Well, they stopped Cleveland, but like everybody stops Cleveland. So I actually think that at 44, 43, this is just too low a total. I think that these offenses are probably the superior units here, and they'll probably score enough points.
All right, Reid, over or under 44 points here?
Yeah, I'm going to go over. TJ Watt with COVID. Pat Freiermuth is probably going to be out. He's dealing with a concussion, and Robert Spillane is banged up. So the Steelers, they are going to be in a lot of hurt on both sides of the ball. And so, Baltimore looks bad, right? Like, Baltimore does not look like the team that we thought. And so, offensively, you get a little scared, right? They've lost to Miami. They have ugly wins for Chicago and Cleveland. And I get that, but I just don't think that the Steelers right now, and this I think is still shrapnel. It's still like residual after what they did after their bye, that they potentially have a chance to hit this over. So, Joe Hayden may be back, but the Steelers on the way to defensive DVOA ranking, they're 29th in the NFL. They're just not a good defense right now. And I do think Baltimore takes this opportunity to get back into what they were doing, right? Is dominating these games with Lamar Jackson, going deep with Marquise Brown, giving, Mandrews 14,000 targets a game, maybe actually hit him, Lamar, instead of hitting the defender 3 times in a row. And I think they do get this over. I think this is too low for an NFL game.
Yeah, Pearce, you feel like Baltimore can get things right enough to hit the over here?
Yeah, I do. And I don't think that they necessarily have to get things that much more right. On my list, I've got the number 2 on most fraudulent team, but the offense hasn't looked as bad as these guys want to lead you to believe. Yeah, they got beat by Miami, but Miami blitzed them 26 times. And, that caused a bunch of problems for Lamar Jackson. You look at Pittsburgh, they're 23rd in blitz, 27th in quarterback hurries, just average when it comes to pressure, so that's not going to be an issue. And then last week, yeah, they didn't look good, but they actually did. If you watch the first half, Baltimore and Lamar Jackson were moving the ball. But 3 times he threw interceptions while they were moving the ball down, trying to squeeze the ball into the tight spot. Now, maybe they don't win. Maybe they don't cover. They will. But those are not really bad things. We want aggressive Lamar Jackson. Aggressive Lamar Jackson means points on the board. And if he throws those picks on his side of the field, then that means points for Pittsburgh, which is going to be hard to come by for Pittsburgh. But if they're working with a short field, they can make it happen. Also, I know we can't trust Pittsburgh, basically because their offensive line's been terrible. Najee Harris is getting something under 3 yards per carry. You can't run on Baltimore anyway. They might be able to pass. Baltimore's pass defense isn't that great, but incomplete passes stop the clock. That can lead to more points. Worst case scenario, Baltimore wins this game. Pittsburgh gets those garbage points like we saw last week and pushes this thing over at the very end.